Free Media here, live from Cipriani, here for the Gordon Parks Foundation Gala. Tell me about how it feels to be here, and what you're most excited to hear about tonight's speech.
It's interesting. I love Angela Davis. It's just she's such an important part of our history, of who we are and where we're going, and all of that. So it's great to be here, for her. But it's the whole event. I mean, Gordon was an extraordinary guy, and I just wrote a little bit about Shaft for. The Criterion Collection, and you see him how he literally changed the concept of black masculinity. It's just great to be here.
What is it that you love most about Gordon's work?
Well, I don't really think there's a term. I love his photography because of the essential emotion in all of the work. So, but I love everything about him for that. So like I like his movies for that, and I like just his life in general for that. So.
Well, first off, I am a fan of Girlfriends. That's my comfort show now, especially watching it as a child and like being an adult now. Thank you so much for that show. It's so important.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time that people take to revisit the work. In your case, probably shouldn't have been watching in the first place. but I think hopefully what I seeded in that moment was a promise for your blossoming, right? And so in being able to engage in it more directly through your own life experience, you get to engage with the art, just kind of like tonight, that there's some paintings and photographs that artists have taken, and you don't know, you just know you're standing in front of greatness, but you don't know why it's great. And then later you live a little, experience life a little bit, and then you immediately know why you want to weep looking at that photograph or that painting. So that's what Gordon Parks represents to me, and I'm so proud tonight that I get to represent and honor Amy Sherrill and all the other amazing honorees in the room that I have the pleasure of knowing. It's nice to sort of engage in that way with art. So thank you for revisiting.
Most definitely. And speaking of tonight's honorees and Gordon Parks, who we're celebrating tonight, talk to me more about how does it feel about just celebrating black art, activism, and just continuing to support and advance it.
Fine art is often not for anyone but the privileged. That a lot of times the lens or the paintbrush doesn't come our way. And if it does, it can be a very distorted image. So for Gordon Parks and all the other artists tonight, especially Amy, who I just love, they're the privilege, but also the humanity, and just capturing our existence, and really seeing us for who we really are and the complexity of who we are. It is so important because sometimes you don't even know what you need until you see it, until you're fed by it. And that's what these artists have done for us time and time again. And so it is very important for them to be supported. It's very important for them to be here because they reflect who we are.
How much of Gordon Parks is foundation and legacy inspired you?
Becoming one of the first fellows in 2017, it was life-changing just to be a part of his legacy, and it has taken my career to a whole nother level, not even just the arts, but just in community activism and giving back to my own community back in Baltimore. They're doing amazing work. I'm excited about the village that has been built around me while working with the Gordon Parks Foundation, and I can't thank them enough for always supporting me, the past, the present, and the next to come.
And why is it that you believe that people, they kind of understand social justice issues through art versus like the issue just at hand?
What Gordon was able to do was give voice and allow people to speak, to the masses through the image, and that's what, he stood on against everything that he hated, racism and poverty, and what art does, it gives you a chance to take a step back and self-reflect, but it educates, it actually brings, more awareness to a lot of spaces, and that's what the art can do. Once it's created, now it can spark a conversation that we can address a lot of these issues.
I became aware of Gordon Parks at the age of 19, and I knew that he had worked for either Look or Life magazine for 20 years before he started. I read his book, A Choice of Weapons, that changed my life. I saw the movie that he produced, The Learning Tree. That was amazing. I even went to see, what was that? Wasn't one of my favorites, but it was a cultural favorite, Superfly. But my favorite memories of Gordon Park is A Choice of Weapons when I read his book at 19. That's number one. And the other thing is The Learning Tree. Amazing. Changed my whole life. That's why I'm here.
And lastly, before you go, how important is activism in fashion?
Well, activism in fashion is what I'm all about. Activism, inclusion is what I'm totally all about. Everything about me says activism. So, if anybody who's been to my website knows that, or to my page knows that.
Tell me about being here tonight and just supporting the Gordan Parks Foundation.
Yeah, I mean, art has been a huge part of my life since I was a kid. I mean, I've gone to art galleries, museums, you name it. So being able to be here, celebrate not only artists, but also people in the world, I mean, I think it's a really great event to be a part of. I'm really excited to be here. This is my first time here, so I'm really excited to meet more people and be a part of this world.
How has his work as a revolutionary impacted you as an actress now?
Oh my God. Gordan Park specifically, I think the history, the way he's captured history throughout time and the way in which it's still a part of our world now. If that makes any sense, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but the way he's been able to like capture, God rest his soul, the world, I think has been monumental. And I mean, even for acting, I mean, for us here, yeah.
How important is activism in art?
I feel like it's very important. You know, we have to be spreading all of those messages and making sure that all of our voices are heard, you know, and whether it's through art, music, design, architecture, I feel like we continuously have to share our stories, yeah.
We know your work as an artist. How does it feel to be here tonight as one of the honorees?
It feels surreal, and I'm still a little surprised and stunned.
And what are you most looking forward to for tonight as tonight's honoree?
Just what we're here for, to celebrate Gordan Parks and to continue to celebrate his legacy.
Woo.